Welcome to Things I Wish I Hadn't Seen. Stewart, what is your thing you wish you hadn't seen?
Well, hi Emily. How are
Hi,
you?
Stewart. I'm good. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me. Um,
Anytime.
like since we kind of talked about this segment, I've been kind of looking around for things that are interesting, but
Hmm.
we live in very uninteresting times. So, you know, if you want, like, it's my house or it's walking is really where I see things. So walking is the most exciting thing at the moment for me. Walking is the new Disneyland, and I'm sorry that I couldn't come up with any kind of anything more exciting than Disneyland for you, but there we are. But yeah, so I go for walks. That's the thing, and I try to mix it up. I went for a walk last week, and I kind of go for walks at different times just to keep things interesting. My
Of
life
course, keep
is
it fresh. Yeah.
keep it fresh. That's how I keep things fresh, by going outside at different times. And I live in the city. I live in Dublin City, so I go for. I'm spoiled for choice. Absolutely spoiled for choice. So I've got parks. I've got the Liffey, and I've got parks, and I've got the Liffey, and so they've got two choices. So everybody knows, everybody knows that the boardwalk along the Liffey is probably one of the most romantic places on the face of the earth, right?
Of course. Of course.
You
Can't
know,
think of anything more romantic.
romantic picnics and, whimsical afternoons. It's comparable to the likes of the Eiffel Tower or the Wailing Wall or the Berlin Wall, as they're probably comparable to the boardwalk. It's the people. They're just so welcoming. It's just such a welcoming place. All the characters are so warm and generous and funny, and the place is just so clean and tidy, and it's a wholesome place. You know. So, like I said, I was going for a walk last week, and at 11 o'clock in the morning, and there was like around that time. There's no one around. There's zero people on the street. So I was walking down the little segment that's leading up to the Halfpenny Bridge, and nobody on it, apart from two people that were just up the road, just up the boardwalk, and I wasn't paying any attention to them. And then, as I was right beside them, I kind of noticed. I don't really want to kind of, how would I say it? I'll kind of do it in Disney talk, if that's okay. Um, there was a princess with her head nuzzled between the prince's crotch, and
Oh.
I don't know, like my jaw must have physically dropped, like, because I don't know, like, and maybe I stalled a little bit because I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing, and he must have like kind of tried to get her off, because she didn't just look up, she kind of went like this, and she looked at me dead in the
Oh.
eye, and that was pretty shocking. It was probably the most disturbing disturbing sexual thing I'd seen all morning at that point. And yeah, so that's Dublin. Dublin's great.
That's sick. Dublin
Dublin
is
is a
sick.
great, it's a
That's
great
sick.
place, and yeah, sorry if yeah, but like, I mean, in a way they gave me a new experience, so I kind of felt like I should almost have thanked them, but by the time I got back, they'd gone. But maybe it's a kind of an analogy. I was thinking that maybe the drug-fueled couple were kind of an analogy for what's going on at the moment. Maybe they're the Irish government trying to. Nah, it's probably not an analogy for that. Anyway, what's your what's the worst thing that you saw?
That I saw. It's slightly less visually sickening, but I think equally as traumatic as the boardwalk blowjob. But
That's
it's
better title.
quite,
That's a good title. It could be a
that's going to be the
musical.
name of
The
your novel.
Boardwalk
Yeah.
Blowjob, starring some guy from Westlife.
And
But
Renee
anyway,
Zellweger.
yeah,
So,
she needs the cash. But
so my encounter is quite a common one, I'm afraid to say. It happens in daily life. But I was walking down the street and I glanced to my left. And I saw a man who I would describe as a man who looked like he had never committed to anything in his life, you know. He had mid-length hair. He had mid-length hair. He had mid-rise jeans. The look on his face said he didn't exactly hate life, but he wasn't exactly loving life at the same time.
right,
So I
okay.
saw this man, he was on my left-hand side.
Like most of us,
And like most of us,
most men. Oh, like me.
as I was looking at him, he kind of angled his body to the right and began to raise his hand. So of course I glanced to the right. I like to be informed. I like to know what's going on in the world. I glanced to the right and I saw a woman who was so striking, so gorgeous, so above everyone else that she definitely would have bullied me in secondary school. I'm actually pretty sure she did bully me in secondary school. So she was walking along. She didn't care about anyone, anything. She couldn't see anyone or anything, mostly because she was about a foot taller than most of the population.
Right.
So I glanced back to my left and I saw the man, the dull grey man, still lifting his little hand. And I thought, please, for the love of God, man, please, either pick your nose, slap yourself in the face, or for God's sake, at this stage, do a Nazi salute. But please, please do not wave to this woman. But he did a little wave, and he half mouthed the word, yeah, like this. Half mouthed the word, half mouthed the word, hey. And of course, she was unmovable. She didn't see, she didn't care. She was like the Titanic heading for the iceberg. She was on a direct path. In this moment, I made a comparison in my head that this experience, the wave, the unsolicited wave, is very similar to a hand job. Not physically similar, because if it was physically similar, you're definitely doing one of the two things wrong. But just emotionally similar in terms of the commitment that you have to make when doing this action.
Yeah.
So in both scenarios, the hand job and the wave, the level of commitment.
The hand job and the
directly,
wave, right? Sorry, yeah.
Sorry, the hand job and the wave.
Yeah. Again, another a play maybe. Sorry.
A play, an indie band.
An indie band,
perhaps.
Yeah.
Noah and the Whale,
Copyright.
supported by Hand Job and the Wave.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
the level of commitment, is equal. So if you, how much you wave is directly related to how much you like the other person, you know. So if you like them a little bit, and you're giving them a hand job or a wave, and you're not getting a lot of response, you'll just say fuck it. You'll brush yourself off, you'll sanitize, and you'll move on with your day. Okay.
Absolutely.
But if you really like the person, you'll give it a bit more oomph. You'll give it everything you've got. You don't want to let them down. You don't want to let yourself down. Okay.
Yeah. Power through.
Knuckle down.
Yeah. White knuckles.
Painful. White knuckles. Let's go.
Yeah.
But in painful, we're all involved. But what you don't want to do is what this man did, which is, and this goes further, hand job or a wave. What you don't want to do is cry, weep a little. You don't want to do that,
No.
because now everyone is uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and your hand is wet for all the wrong reasons. That's been this week's Things I Wish I Hadn't Seen.